Have you ever wished you could actually, remember everything you set out to learn? Well, today we're diving into a secret that could completely change how you approach studying, how you retain information, everything. Let's get into it.
So let's start with a feeling I'm pretty sure we all know. You spend hours, maybe a whole afternoon, reading a book or studying for a test. You feel like you've really got it. But then, the next day, it's just fuzzy. It's fading away. Why? Why does so much of what we learn seem to just disappear into thin air?
This isn't just you. It's a real thing we can call the vanishing knowledge problem. It's that super frustrating feeling of putting in all that hard work only to find the information has packed its bags and left right when you need it most. Now, here's the most important thing I want you to hear right now. If this happens to you, it is not your fault. Seriously. It's not a personal failing or a bad memory. It's just how your brain is wired to work. You can think of your brain as this brilliant but really ruthless bouncer at the door of your memory, constantly deciding what's important enough to let in and what's just noise to kick to the curb.
And this whole filtering process, it isn't random. Nope. In fact, it's so predictable that scientists have a name for it. So it's time to meet the villain of our story, the forgetting curve. This is the actual science that explains why our memory sometimes feels like a leaky bucket.
So what exactly is the forgetting curve? Well, it's basically a map that shows how we lose information over time if we don't do anything to hold on to it. And the really crucial part here isn't just that we forget, it's how fast it happens. It's not a slow, gentle decline, it's a steep, rapid nosedive right from the get-go.
And just how steep is that drop? Okay, get ready for this, because it's a bit of a shocker. Without any effort to review what you've learned, your brain can discard 50 to 60% of it within a single day. That's more than half of what you learned yesterday. Just poof, gone in 24 hours. And this is what that looks like. You can see it right here. Just look at that dramatic drop between the first hour and the first day. It's huge. And by the end of a single week, almost all of that initial information has just evaporated. This chart really shows the problem we're all up against.
All right, that was the bad news, but here's the really good news. We can totally fight this curve. In fact, there's a simple, scientifically proven method to beat it and make your learning actually stick around for the long haul. The solution really comes down to a big shift in strategy. On one side, you've got the old way, just studying harder. The classic all-night cram session, one long, intense grind. But on the other side is the new way, studying smarter. And that's all about several short, strategically timed review sessions.
And this smarter strategy has a name. So meet the hero of our story, spaced repetition. This is the technique of reviewing information at specific, increasing intervals. Each one of those little reviews interrupts the forgetting curve right as you're about to forget, pushing that memory back up to the top and making it stronger every single time.
So how do you actually do this? It's way easier than it sounds. Here's a simple, super powerful schedule you can start using today. After you first learn something, do your first review within 24 hours. That one is the most critical one, for sure. Then, you review it again after about 3 days, and a final time after about a week. That's it. It's that straightforward.
And if you want to make this even more powerful, you can combine it with a few other key habits. Instead of just rereading your notes, try active recall. Basically, quiz yourself. Also, take clear, effective notes that make reviewing easy. And most importantly, you got to commit to being consistent with those reviews. All these things work together to really cement those memory connections.
Ultimately, what we're talking about here is more than just a study hack. It's a completely new way of thinking about learning. It's about moving away from that brute force effort and toward a much more intelligent, brain-friendly approach.
Here's why this works so well. Remember that bouncer? That filter your brain uses? Well, every time you review information, you're sending a powerful signal straight to that filter. You're basically tapping your brain on the shoulder and saying, hey, pay attention to this. This stuff is important. Keep it. And eventually, your brain gets the message and moves that info into long-term storage where it belongs.
If there's one key thing to take away from all of this, it is this right here. You don't need to study longer. You need to study smarter. It's all about working with your brain's natural systems instead of constantly fighting against them.
So now, the power is in your hands. You have the key to beat the forgetting curve and make knowledge actually stick. The only question left is, with this secret to learning unlocked, what will you choose to master?